So here, without further ado, are the 5 features I think you should totally ignore when a salesman talks to you about buying a new camera. Most people are out there to take pictures and have nice pictures and share them with their friends. 99% of everybody is out there to do that. The ways you do that are via Instagram, online, even a photo book, and you print that stuff. When you do that, you print a picture this size. Because of that, there is no point to get high pixel counts. Pixel count is important for that person who is going to take photos and print them big. And where do people print photos big? It's commercial work. People who do posters, corporate photography, fashion photography, all those type of things might need a high pixel count. You should start ignoring pixels at around 12, but to be really reassured in case you might at one day have to print something a lot bigger, you can stop at 20. 20 megapixels is fine. Ignore someone who comes up to you and says, wow, my camera has 50 megapixels. A lot of cameras have this new feature where the sensor within the camera will move as you are shaky. So if you move and take a shot and you're a bit shaky, the sensor will actually move to stabilize to make sure that your shot is stabilized. It is a nice to have, but I do believe that this automatic feature can be overlooked with just a bit more training and not a lot. Keep your shots over 1/160th of a second. Try to be stable if it's under 1/160th of a second and you're fine. So it's a feature that's there and you pay a lot for to get it, and you don't necessarily need it because with just a bit of training, you can overlook it completely and just get stable shots anyways. A guy buys a camera, he says he's got 4K on his camera, but he bought it because it has 8K, but there's not a TV out there that can play 8K. So he wants to play his memories and he can't, but he says, you know what, I have 8K for in the future, I'll be able to use that. Don't do that. Buy the camera for the tech that's happening now. So if people are broadcasting on 1080 television sets, get a camera with 1080. You don't have to get the 4K. Just buying something good that works well for whatever the tech is now is fine. A lot of people will tell you, you know what, I got a camera and it takes 12 shots a second. Well, I can tell you now, as a person who has done a lot of professional photography and a lot of event photography, places where you would expect to have a camera with good burst rates for wedding, circus photography, and sports. I still do not use the burst rate of my camera that much. Sometimes I'll go to 6 frames per second if I'm shooting a model, I want to do some stuff that really comes out impromptu, but most of the time I do not use that. I have trained myself to get the shot when it's time. Don't break your head on getting something with tons of zoom range. You don't need to have a camera that goes to 600 millimeters so you can zoom in your shot. Most of the time you can deal with a smaller zoom range. Now, what happens is 2 points come out. One is that the quality of a lens that has less of a zoom range is always better. Plain and simple, there's no doubt about that. The next thing is that the times you actually go and use the 600 millimeter, that huge zoom range, are very, very few and far between. You won't be using it. So there you go, guys. Those are my 5 big features I think we should ignore when going to buy a camera. Now, what I want you guys to do is go and write down your features you think we should ignore and not think of when we go buy a camera. I think it's important to know these things because when you go into these camera stores, you're going to hear a lot of jargon. And I don't want people out there to be fooled by these salespeople. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget everybody, keep on making something from nothing.